Good morning to everyone. Myself A. Karthik Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Sethi Institute of Technology, Karyapati, Virudhunagar District. My presentation on Internet of Things and its challenges. My flow of presentation as follows: Internet of Introduction about embedded system, IoT applications, IoT security, challenges in IoT, conclusions. Internet introduction about embedded systems. So what is meant by an embedded system is a combination of hardware and software to do a particular task. So it's used for one dedicated purpose as a combination of hardware and software. So the real-time examples like a digital camera, smartwatches, and washing machine is also an example of embedded systems. What is a comparison between general purpose system and embedded system means the purpose will be single function when we go for embedded system. The size of the system will be small, the power consumption also less, the cost of system will be cheap, the memory will be lower memory, and the performance also efficient, and user interfaces devices which we used as a buttons and sensors and actuators gateways. So when we go for embedded systems, it's a single function devices. Okay, so the size will be small and also power consumption will also less. So the memory consumptions will be low. So these are all the advantages of embedded system when we go for general purpose system. So when we go for embedded system, we can use user interfaces devices like sensors, actuators, gateways, buttons. So when we go for one embedded system in a real time, like a washing machine. So washing machine contains buttons, sensors, other hardware devices, software interfaces. So these are all the real time examples of embedded systems. So what are the characteristics of an embedded system means? It's a single function, tightly constrained, real-time operations. That means the real-time environmental, it will be work. The software also will be number of features and flexibility is more. The hardware will one of the important parameter. The performance also will be high. The security also high. So these are all the characteristics of an embedded systems. So as a part of an embedded system, we are going to discuss about Internet of Things and its challenges. So what is mean by Internet of Things means it's an interrelated devices which the information transfer between one device to another device without any human intervention or human to human or human to computer interactions. Okay, so it can communicate and network independently. So the information transfer between one device to another device without any human intervention, it's called an embedded systems. So it is called Internet of Things. Okay. So what are the various applications of Internet of Things? So likewise, agricultural applications, environmental monitoring, online retail monitoring, home automations, smart grid applications, industry applications, and smart city applications, and healthcare environment. So one of the hot topic of Internet of Things, it's called healthcare environment. It's called Internet of Medical Things. So the information is transferred between the patient's details like hospital details. All the things will be remotely sent to the doctor. The treatment also will be doing by this kind of Internet of Medical Things. Okay, so this is one of the hot topic. That means important trend in IoT environment. So what are the components of Internet of Things? Like things or device which gather the information between the environmental. So the gateway will store the information to the cloud. So cloud will process a massive amount of data which gathered by the devices, and the analytics like data pre-processing and other type of operations will be done for the analytics. And finally the user interfaces, the device like a mobile interfaces and other dashboards will be used for these user interfaces. So these are all the components of Internet of Things. So this much of applications of Internet of Things will also facing issues also. So security and privacy, which one of the important parameter when we go for the issues of Internet of Things, like interoperability, scalability, reliability. So these are all the important parameter when we go for the issues in Internet of Things. Likewise, interoperability means various manufacturers and other platforms is also the supporting of IoT devices. The scalability also managing the scaling of infrastructures. So also the one of the important issues in Internet of Things. So the reliability sometimes reliability diverse in sometimes in some environment, ensuring the robustness and the challenging in that particular Internet of Things devices. So these are all the issues when we go for the Internet of Things applications. Okay. So the issues means what, how the issues is happening, how the attack is happening. Okay. So the attacker will be somewhere, he can target that particular IoT devices, and that particular devices will be under the control of that particular attacker, and he can spoil the entire environment by means of some irrelevant or unauthentication activities. So these are all the security attacks. Okay. So in that security attacks, how, what are the impact on IoT security means the poorly structured IoT devices can spoil the entire network. So it can compromise the sensitive data, threatening the safety of individual users. So the technical difficulties in various IoT devices like a limited RAID storage, power, computational requirement. Okay, so these are all the major impact on IoT security. Okay, so IoT security means there are variety of security attacks are available like botnet attacks, advanced persistent threats, ransomware, remote recording, inconsistent security standards, lack of encryptions. So as we see, the botnet attack is one of the important parameter or challenges in IoT environment. Okay. So what is meant by botnet attacks? So botnet attack means large-scale cyber attacks carried out by the malware-infected devices which controlled remotely. So the number of Internet of Connected devices, each of which running one or more bots, launching distributed denial of service attacks. So distributed denial of service attack means it can own the control of that particular devices, and he can disconnect that particular devices, and he can spoil some of the irrelevant information feeding that devices and spoil the entire network. So these are all the one of the important part of this botnet attack is called distributed denial of service attacks. Okay. So these are all the life cycle. The first one is initial infection. Second one is secondary injection. The third one is connection establishment between botnet and bot master. The fourth one is command and control. The fifth one is maintenance and update. So what are the types of botnet attack? Fuzzers, analysis, backdoors, DOS, exploit, generic, recurrence, shellcode, worm. So fuzzers means some irrelevant or randomly generated data which is feeding in that IoT environment. Analysis will based on the port scan. So backdoor means a security mechanism to stealthily computer or its data. DOS attack means, as we said in the last slide, control the devices and it can disconnect that particular devices and own the control of the devices. Exploit means knowledge by exploiting the vulnerability. So generic means some type of encryption decryption algorithm also happening. So recurrence means strikes can simulate attack, gather the information. Shellcode, a payload of in the exploitation of vulnerability. So worm means it can replicate that particular attack, that means informations. Lot of irrelevant information will spoil that entire applications. Okay, so these are all the botnet attacks. So what are the solution for this botnet attack detection means? First, we are going for the detection, and the second one is we are going for the mitigation. So detection means the first part is anomaly detection to recognize anomalies model, to recognize traffic and logs or user behaviors. So the by means of some unsupervised learning techniques to identify the patterns that deviate from the norms. So likewise, we are implementing machine learning classifiers like random forest and support vector machine also will be used for to detect that botnet attacks. So botnet attack mitigation means when we go for what implementation of software defined networking also is one of the important solution for this mitigation techniques. So the honeypot technique also will identify the botnet activities by means of centralized IoT devices and identify the behavior of that IoT devices. So these are all the mitigation techniques when we go for the botnet attack detection by means of this machine learning techniques. Okay. So in this presentation, I have covered IoT application challenges, what is meant by botnet attack, what is the detection technique, and what are the mitigation techniques in that IoT environment. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for this opportunity to say the Institute of Technology. Thank you.